Welcome, beloved anointed ones. They mastered the game of survival, but you mastered the game of self. Let that sink in for a second, because that's where everything changed. Their power came from pain. Every rule they made, every strategy they used, every manipulation they performed, was trauma wearing a suit. They built entire relationships, workplaces, and even family dynamics out of wounds they refused to heal. You, on the other hand, started playing from something they could never counterfeit: wholeness. Here's a fact that'll twist your mind a little. Studies show that unhealed trauma can literally rewire the brain's perception of safety, meaning some people only feel alive when chaos is present. That's right. To them, peace feels threatening, and dysfunction feels like home. So, when you walked in calm, grounded, and spiritually hydrated, they looked at you like you were speaking a foreign language, because you were the dialect of alignment. They were experts at playing emotional chess with broken pieces. They baited, gaslighted, guilt-tripped, and expected you to fold under pressure because that's what trauma-trained minds do. But you showed up with a different software. You weren't operating on the coding of pain anymore. You were running on the upgraded system of awareness. No glitches, no emotional malware. And that's when the game stopped being fun for them. Because when someone plays from wholeness, manipulation becomes boring. You stopped reacting to their chaos, and that made you unpredictable. You stopped competing for validation, and that made you powerful. You stopped needing closure, and that made you free. You were never trying to win their game. You were busy changing the arena. And let's be honest, it's kind of poetic that the same people who thought they could play you ended up getting outplayed by your peace. They were gaming from trauma, you were playing from truth. And truth doesn't bluff. Now let's break this down, point by point, and uncover how your wholeness became their undoing. Number 1. They built a battlefield out of brokenness. Everything they did was born from a place that hadn't healed. Their need to control, to compete, to dominate, to belittle. It wasn't intelligence that made them strategic. It was pain wearing armor. When people never deal with their wounds, they turn them into weapons. That's what they did. They made pain their playbook, and the rules were simple. Whoever bleeds first loses. But you changed the dynamic because you didn't show up bleeding, you showed up whole. They were fighting from memory, but you were moving from awareness. Their world only makes sense when everyone is hurting. They need others to match their chaos so they can justify staying broken. When you didn't take the bait, you confused them. You didn't play the emotional games they were trained to play, the guilt trips, the silent treatments, the emotional blackmail. You weren't reacting to their storms anymore because you had already found your calm. And when someone operates from peace in a world addicted to drama, it's like bringing light into a room full of people who only know how to navigate in darkness. They can't see straight anymore. Your wholeness exposed what they didn't want to face. You became proof that healing